And that's one thing that I love about, I love about BreakThrough is it's so practical. And you mentioned, I think you made a comment earlier about Esther. You said something about, um, yeah, you said something about the philosophy and Nana yoga, and how BreakThrough, is really Nana yoga. And and also part of that, of both, is that they all come back to your experience. What do you know for sure? What do you know for sure? I know for sure that I exist. I know for sure that I am. I know for sure. Yeah. And beyond that, I don't know anything for sure. And as uncomfortable and maybe disconcerting that feels for some people to not know, because that's the realm. I mean, we've been conditioned to know, no, in this information age, which we're still in, but maybe gradually shifting out of. In this information age, it's all about accumulate information, accumulate information. I need to know, I need to know. I can just do a Google, just Google it, just Google it, just Google it, just get information, get more and more information. And as a practitioner, like I just need another modality. I just need another modality, another modality, or I need to study more. I need to research more. I need to learn more. I need to do, right? Exhausting, right? So I think coming from that, now I'm hearing you, Esther, giving your Manuel impersonation.
Ah, no, no. Now you have to talk about it.
Well, I was never really a big Faulty Towers fan. I maybe seen one or two
Only
episodes.
Canadians, really English and Aussies and New Zealanders. But
Yeah.
yes, it was a show designed really by one of the Monty Python men, John Cleese, and it was to educate hotel staff in how not to run an hotel, and it's very funny. And it's a whole series, and in it there's
It's
a
funny.
little
It's funny to English and Canadian and
South African.
real sense of humor. So and Manuel, so John Cleese's big, tall, skinny guy, and Manuel's this little guy, and he's always getting into trouble. So he loses his that rat, which he thinks is a guinea pig, in the restaurant. And John Cleese is jumping up and down, the guy, Manuel, blah, blah, blah. And his answer to everything is, I'm from Barcelona, I know nothing. So whenever I teach breakthroughs, this is really, we're getting closer and closer to our inner Manuel, I know nothing, I know nothing. So it's again and again questioning what we think we know. And just a little bit of questioning, and we see how fragile it is and how it just collapses before our eyes. So it's not that it needs to, it's a structure that has benefited us until we start questioning it. We need to defend and protect and avoid and do all of that, until we know better. And the knowing better is seeing that, no, that really doesn't make sense. Or that, look at that contradiction. It just cancels itself out. So there's a peace that comes. And most of us live in our heads. So more and more as we practice this, with the seeing comes such a compassion. I remember a big, I think, truck driver from Canada at the end of one class going with a tear saying, but it's so gentle. So he wasn't expecting. So we notice these contradictions in the mind, and it becomes so clear that we are not the cause of them, that actually nobody is. And as we see these truths of, this ignorance, as we see the ignorance more and more clearly, there a compassion comes. And so you have first the seeing, the compassion, the understanding that comes with it. And then in daily life, more and more, we notice those habits manifesting themselves. And that noticing is non-intellectual. More and more it's happening at the nervous system level. And the nervous system begins to adjust all by itself. So it's and that's what I always talk about in, you know, all these, the body talk is a system of metaphysics, but you don't really start to experience the metaphysical principles until you get that there's nothing you actually do in breakthrough to cause anything. It's just seeing, the compassion, the understanding, and that more and more breaks the spell, because we're simply under a spell. So it's a breaking of a spell, and it's actually fun. I mean, we meet every week and we work with it, and it's fun because we are more and more coming from this place. I know nothing, so it is very much a childlike process. Yes. So at first challenging because it's unfamiliar. We're not used to coming from an unguarded, like, oh, we're not used to coming from that place so much.
No.
Yeah.
It's far more familiar to come from that really defensive and ultra protective place, and somehow it takes a little while to go underneath that and start coming from a different place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you look at little children in the most dire circumstances, you can see they still manage to make a game out of something, or play. You see something very different,